Hello, good evening. This is Ken here, and today I'm making this short video, episode 8 for our MLM Revolutions, okay, community or modern MLM downline community Southeast Asia. And in this episode 8, right, is a continuation of episode 7, whereby I discuss and describe about how do you reduce cost, as mainly talking in episode 7 the cost in monetary terms, and I touch on a little bit about time, okay. The about the more efficient way to use the time. And in episode 8, I will continue for in the same notion about something which is even more important than reducing cost in terms of money. It's about looking at something, an asset that is given to us for free, which is our time. Okay, how can we be more efficient in the internet marketing thriving era? Okay, so before I go on, remember to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so that you're not miss out more and more episodes I'm going to put up in the context of modern MLM downlines. Okay, utilizing amazing and more efficient, more systematic, more powerful, more rich, all right, in a digital environment. Okay, and to carry out something that all businesses must do, and there's no exception for a MLM business, and that is this thing called marketing. All right, and marketing. And with marketing in a digital sense, right, it helps us to address something which is really important to all of us, which when we have in the offline ways of doing our MLM, right? I'm a big fan of MLM. I started off with learning the old ways of doing MLM, which is the offline ways, right? And I pivoted, and make a decision, make a firm decision to pivot, and I didn't embark on this journey alone. I gathered in the beginning a small group of like-minded people. Well, anyway, they are not from the same team, but we are of the same brand, to share this vision that we need to overhaul. The time has come, and for us to really evolve. That is why we call ourselves the MLM Revolutions. Okay, we are going to revolutionize this industry, and the idea doesn't come from us. Okay, it doesn't come from us. It already originated, far away from. By the way, I'm based in Singapore. Okay, far away from Singapore, which is in the US. However, my first interaction, touch on a little bit of the backstory, is when I start to, something at the back of my mind was telling me that hey, since I am enjoying, the most popular social media channel, which is Facebook, right? So I kind of get a hang of it, modeling it on my smartphone. I didn't really, get onto my laptop to, operate and manage my social media Facebook, account using my laptop. Basically, using just the smartphone. So, as I was still very into the offline way of, running my MLM business, and which most of us, in the good old days, we are doing that, right? It's not, it's not about the right and wrong. It's about, having a more entrepreneur mindset, right? And we will be trying to be more efficient with our resources, okay? Which is time is a kind of resources, given to us. Okay, so having said that, right? So in this episode, cover, we discuss with you more in depth about the utilization of time. In the same way that I have talked about, we kind of overlook the monetary, aspect of it when we are doing the offline way, thinking that is negligible. But as I dissect this up in please bear with me that I have to help you to recap about the cost in terms of money, right, for your appointments when you go for your offline way of doing an MLM business, right? So let's say one in a Singapore context, let's say you one appointment is $10, just a quick recap, right? So you are very driven and you are able to consistently make appointments, say on average, right, 5 appointments a day for 30 days, right? So $10 one appointment, so it's like $50 already for 5 appointments to meet up with 5 prospects, and assuming that you don't repeat the names. Okay, so 5 prospects a day, 30 days in a month is 150, right? And each appointment is $10 Sing dollar. So one whole month, in terms of expenditure for just meeting 150 different people, assuming they're all different, you are able to do that. Okay, you have a long list of warm market name list, right? It will cost you already $1,500. And by the way, that's your investment. Okay, that's your cost, right? And those are not marketing costs. Those are not marketing costs, right? Those are just simply expenditure costs that you have to invest in order to meet people, right? Okay, so just fundamentally, you spend $10, $1,500. Okay, right? Let's say assuming you got 10%. Among the 150 people, you got 10% of the closing, right? It's like 15 people. So what is your return on investment out of the 1,500, right? If your commission is just like on average of 20%, right? So how much are you making back the 1,500, right? Okay, so you need a huge volume, isn't it? Okay, putting that aside, right? So in this episode, I'll not touch on too much about cost in terms of money. Let's look at the time aspect. Okay, now it's a common sense, isn't it, that time spent we will never get back, right? And we can also assume that each prospecting session with new prospects, right? And pretty much the quality of the conversation is, the content of the conversation is pretty similar between one person to the other person, right? Because we are talking about the context of MLM, right? It's either product or the business opportunity, isn't it? Okay, so some small chit chat from different people, so the conversation around the chit chat part may be different for different people. But fundamentally, the objective of the conversation is to communicate about the business opportunities, about the products, about the demo. That's basically what you're going to be spending the time on, right? So that means I dare to say that the content that is being expressed by us, let's say we did it in an offline way, is repeated over and over again, except that we have to do it 150 times. So in my previous episode, I mentioned that let's say one appointment takes you 2 hours to communicate whatever you have to do, right? And your closing rate is 10%, for example, out of 150 people. Okay, so you already know what is your return on investment, but what about the time? The time spent you'll never get back, right? And what you're making is only money, right? So think about that. So can we be more efficient with how you utilize the time if this is going to be repeated conversation? I mean, in terms of the content part, right? So what about the days whereby you are low in form, your energy is no good, you face so much rejections that, right? So you'll continuously 150 times means you increase your probability of you've got to maintain that kind of drive, But we are human, we are not robots. We can't be robotic every day. We will be affected, right, by the energy of other people, right? We'll be affected by our environment, our family, all kinds of stuff, correct? So that means emotionally wise, you got to fight very hard to keep it consistent in each conversation. Yeah. So that's why, and don't you realize that, especially we are MLM leaders, right? Part of our responsibility, we got to become an MLM, like a life coach. We are not a business coach, right? Because we keep on need to motivate our team, inspire our team, and why? Okay, because we are the leader, we have more experience in handling the rejections and stuff like that. Okay, so we again doing this right is repeated, right, and we have to invest the time, right? Think about that. So if this whole thing is repeated and we cannot ensure our standardized energy level, driven and pump up all the time, which is most people can't do that except for the certain elites, right? That they can remain consistent for a long time. It's not really possible because we are human. Okay, we have emotions. No matter how much we want to manage it, right? We can keep ourselves positive and having a lot of positive attitude, right? Think about that. So what if now you watch my video and you understood that, okay, and you actually practice in front of the camera and record, and you sort out your best presentation over your MLM, business opportunity presentation, your product demo, and your product, presentation to your prospects, and you record it down and you pick out, let's say you make 10 or even 20 videos, which will not take you 2 hours. Right? Now everybody will get bored, so it's to keep it short, 15-20 minutes. Isn't it more efficient? First of all, you don't need to spend 2 hours, right? However, your message can be played over and over again. And if you know how to get more attention, more eyeballs onto your recorded version of your presentation in a video form, and there's so many platforms for you to publish it, publish. Okay, I haven't come to the part about advertising yet. That's another, more advanced. But that's another big option for us that can automate this whole publishing thing. So let's say organically, you're not paying any money. But there's so many free platforms for you to publish your video. However, if you're going to meet a prospect, you can't be at 2 places at one time, right? The best you can do is let's say you are very charismatic or you are a big team, and then you can have you got to spend money. You see money again. Okay, book down a hotel conference room, and you get people in, and then it's one-to-many presentation. But again, you have to be there to do that presentation. Am I right? But what if you understood this? Now you recorded it down, and you make it into a video. You can publish all kinds of ways especially when it comes to a social media channel like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, so many, TikTok, Instagram Reels, so many. But you only need to record one time, a good one that you like, okay, that you felt very good and confident about, right? Okay, and trust me, with a lot of practice, right, and there's always a framework to record a very, very professionally presented video to people, right? And you can use over and over again for months and months to come. But you only did it one time, and you just publish all of them. Plus, if you know the advanced skills in doing this campaigning, this form of marketing campaigning, right? You can run ads for your videos. So that means what? It's going to reach more people, and not only that, it's more targeted. So that means what? That means you are leveraging on a digital system, platforms, right, to free up your time to do things that probably is more urgent, even more important than meeting your prospects. So that means what? Your video is doing the talking for you at the same time, while you're probably doing a lot of team building here now with your team. Right? Isn't it wonderful? So think about that. So isn't it common sense and nothing to debate about it? If we are, we just hang on to the offline way of running an MLM business, right? We will continuously be in the MLM business. We are not on the business because we did not leverage. And besides that, sometimes it's so ironical, isn't it? We came into the MLM business when we make that decision to commit, right? One aspect of it is we understood the importance of having leverage, right? To make leverage income, because we can leverage building a system out from the MLM opportunity, right? Because fundamentally this is not a job, right? It's a business model, right? So what's good about it is the end result is that when we grow and accumulate it, right, we got an asset kind of income. And asset kind of income means it's a leverage income. That means we are making the money not because we're having a job, that we've got to be present to do it in order to make the money, right? No? In the beginning, yes, okay, because we just started out from zero, so we are in it, right? You know, however, as we grow and accumulate, right, we are the system, we build up, you know, okay? We are making it the money because like we are leveraging on it. We are not there to make it, right? So think about it. So what if we evolve? You know, we stretch this whole thing, the leverage, the concept of leverage, to now even more using a lot of digital tools to help us, right, to scale, to build without us spending our time, by recording a lot of our business presentation in a video. And in fact, this video recorded become an intellectual property, isn't it? So it's like it's a digital asset, right? So when we publish it on all kinds of this social media channel and platform, right? When we put our videos there, right? And you know, we can put the links inside the description box and stuff like that, right? And so when people click, then people can just purchase, right? So isn't it, when we are doing that, we are leveraging the system to help us, right? That's precisely that why we choose to, you know, be in an MLM, building an MLM business, right? Correct? Because we can have leverage. So I'm pointing this out to you is that we just expand this even more now, because of why? That it has never come a time whereby internet marketing, you know, right? Or, you know, online marketing using the internet is thriving tremendously. It's a big trend. We are just, you know, coming in another form of leverage, additional, you know, to build up on what we already have chosen, that we want to make leverage income, right? Think about that. So I hope it's not too profound for you. Think about this, right? Okay, so definitely, you know, to recap, right, if we record down our you know, our presentation like what you're watching this right now, right? So this video, for example, I told my story. So this thing will be posted onto lots of channels, you know, on social media, but I'm not present to do that, right? I can be sleeping, I can be resting, I can be traveling, but the video will keep on doing that, talking for me on my behalf, right? So, and I can even run ads on this one to get even more targeted the people to watch this, not just anybody on the streets to watch this video. No, I'll get more people that are very targeted, that are interested in this kind of subject, in about, you know, how can I build a leverage income? How can I learn about online marketing so that I can integrate with my MLM business from the, you know, pivoting in the offline to the online way, right? And we have come to a time, because of the, you know, craziness in the, you know, there's a health crisis going on all around the world. We are being forced to look at that in that angle, and we are, you know, we at modern MLM Downlines community are just some pioneer, you know, pioneering this, especially in this region, to align with our mentors and coaches from the US, from the UK, and from Taiwan, which I keep on repeating that we are not the one who, you know, suddenly came up with this idea. No, we are people that have done it already. Alright, so that's why that brought us the confidence. However, you know, as the word revolution, right, means it's a very brand new idea for a lot of MLM people. Okay, so this is why we are creating a movement here to help especially the little guys, okay, to really expand the meaning of leverage by using powerful digital system to carry out the online marketing for us, right? So think about that. So isn't it common sense that we will reduce the amount of time we need to work on the business and channel it to more strategic planning and you know, maybe develop more areas which we could not have done because we spend too much time, you know, in having meeting up, you know, all the time. And plus we need to be, especially if we have a team, we've got to become a life coach. No, I don't want to be a life coach in the MLM business. As what my mentor taught us, reminded us, we want to be business coach. We want to lead a group of people that already they are motivated themselves, right? So then how do we add values to them when they are new? To be their business coach, showing them business skills. Like marketing is one of them, isn't it? Isn't it better, right? Besides, not many people can qualify themselves to be a motivational speaker, right? And which is, you know, I remember in those offline days of doing the MLM, right? Yeah, you can, you know, why we are always being reminded to attend a lot of lessons and class, because fundamentally the class is not to teach you skills, okay? Not the main thing. Main thing, the flavor of that training is to pump you up, to motivate you, so that you continue another day and, you know, chase your dreams. Right? Think about that. Well, that's my interpretations. Right? Because I start to expand my awareness. Hey, no. There are people that have done it without doing that. No need. We want to be business coach here in the MLM business, not to be a motivational speaker. You know? Right? Yeah. Which one is more energy draining? Yeah, in my opinion, after I had my fair share of team building, right? Doing a lot of life coach role, it's very draining to handle all kinds of emotions and it's a great learning experience, However, when we shift into a business, to be a business coach, right, we reduce our time in that, because right at the front end, we filter out the people that are already motivated, even more precise, because we are using system to help us, to select, rather than we are the one person to be there to access and judge that is this person is a good to continue the conversation. We don't have to. The initial stage, we don't have to at all. We filter them out right in front.